Good evening, Total Battle players. Welcome to the live stream. Let's have a little conversation tonight about the game Total Battle. This will be Total Battle, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Basically, what I would like you guys to do for this stream is get involved and let me know your pet hates about the game Total Battle. What do you like? What do you dislike? What annoys you? What gets your goat up, so to speak? Any conversations, any chats left after this video? Obviously I will try and include them somewhere within the video. In other words, any comments that you may make that you may not have seen or weren't there available for the live stream, I will come back to them and have a good look at the reviews and the bits and pieces that have been said on the video during the live stream. So let me just take a sip of my wine and I'll pop us on feed. Please enjoy the stream tonight. As I have said before and will continue to do, if something happens during the stream and I have to pop offline, please don't be afraid to... Johnny's off. Thanks, Johnny. Nice to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, as I said, if I have to pop off for something, I will leave the screen on. I might just drop out of the webcam rather than going back to the Be Right Back page, because at least then you have something to look at. And I have a new lighting setup today. Bought myself a little rig that kind of I can change lights for. I don't know. We'll have a little play with it. It might be too bright actually. I can turn it down. There's a few different things I can do, but we're waiting for people to arrive. Whoa, we can go deep red and purplish, and it's actually kind of hard on the eyes. No point to be turning this around and showing it to you. Let's get a color that we kind of like, that doesn't make me look like, oh yeah, a bit of blue light. That's good. How about that? How's that? Nice. Am I overexposed? I look cold. Okay, KKK, how we doing? So, Johnny, good afternoon. Paying for Hero Switch is ugly. Yes. Paying for Hero Switch. The only thing I will say about the Hero Switch, as you know, maybe you don't know, maybe you haven't been playing the game that long, although I think you've been around for a while, Johnny. You used to be able to change your hero for a day. So if I wanted to, was it the Hero Switch? Oh no, maybe it was the premium thing. Yeah, so it used to be much longer. Now it's 15 minutes. You can't change the premium from Archaeologist to Great Marshal or Great Ruler. But yeah, the Hero Switch obviously is 24 hours. Paying for a Hero Switch, yeah, it is a bit rich. I'll agree with you there for definite. Would be nice to be able to just change your hero and not have to pay, I think it's $5, is that right? Hero Switch resources? No, it's extra, isn't it? Let me have a look in my currency. Yeah, it's 10. Change your avatar. So yeah, it is a bit much. If at best, at worst, they could halve that, couldn't they? So make it $4.99 for 2 switches. But yes, to pay for it is a little bit much to ask. But I suppose that's not something that they're likely to change. They're making money off it. People do it. People use it. A lot of people generally just stick with the same hero, but it would be nice to be able to change for free, switch maybe quickly if you were scouting other kingdoms, not scouting. If you were looking around other kingdoms and you saw somebody whose bubble shield had dropped and you wanted to get on it fast and you had Ulrich or whatever the case may be and you wanted to switch to Aaron, yes, it would be nice to just do it and not have the hassle. So yes, 100% agree with you there. The Yokai Ventry is probably in bad category. Yes, and I would agree with you on that. I personally wait until usually the last 40 minutes. At that stage, things have calmed down. But you do need to have a decent sized straw, and straw obviously would be able to go and gather quicker, faster. But yeah, it is. Pretty much everybody has said that same thing, that they think it is a waste of space in that particular event, and it is for sure. So yes, that's 2 things now you got in. Robert, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Welcome, my friend. Or at least use gold to buy a Switch. Yeah, definitely. Use gold to buy a Switch, a Hero Switch. That would make sense too. And you could have it, given the fact that they give you, 36,000 in gold for the Hero Switch. Where is it again? Yeah, 36k. So if they made it something like that, maybe 15 or 20,000 gold to Switch Heroes. Yeah, I think that'd be a fair suggestion. Total Battle, if you're listening to this stream afterwards, you certainly aren't listening to it live, because I know who's on the feed now at the minute, and you ain't. Well, you could be, I suppose. No, if you listen to this afterwards, please take note of the chats. Take note of what players, real live players, are saying about your game and what they would like to see changed or altered slightly. Made a little bit better, maybe a little bit fairer. Call it moving the goalposts. What else? Johnny again. Talent points in epic chests. Talent points in epic chests. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. And for anybody who is unsure what this means, basically if you go into your hero stats, heroes and captains, and just underneath his footwear, there is this little box here. And if you click that, that brings you to your talent points. Now, you can reassign your talent points depending on what you're doing. When you're a lower level player and you're growing, you will probably want to do one thing particularly, and that is if you have paid for your premium pack and you want to switch to go crypting, for example. Most people, what I would advise when you're lower level is to crypt once or twice a week. And when you do that, if you have a reset talent option, you can come in here, you can click reset talents, and as you can see, I have 4,445 of them. I will never use them probably ever again. So they are sitting there wasted, useless. But basically what you do is you click use and it will reassign all of the talent points that you have used, that you can then basically spread them over what you like. So my suggestion to smaller players who are growing in the game is do crypting once a week. If you have a good few of those talent points, then reset your talents, put everything into archaeology, everything including the bonuses, and just crypt solidly for an hour or two, use up all your tar, and then basically you can then reassign your talent points back to what they were. You'll get used to knowing what you put them on, battle tactics, expert battle tactics, etc., whether it be your training speeds, your health and strength of melee, ranged, mounted, flying units, etc. You'll get used to knowing that. So it's no harm to do that. It is a good idea to do, and vice versa. You could always do it to increase the strength of your armies when you're attacking epic squads. So it's a good idea. And as has been pointed out, we do get a lot of talent points. Epic monster chests should only include silver, epic tar, rare tar, gold, and elixir. And yes, 100%, I would agree with that. I don't think anybody would disagree. HPR, welcome, my friend. Thanks for joining the fun. Princess, nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. The Lotus Festival is fun, and I'm enjoying the VP. However, the alchemy section requires you to get help to get all the points and lanterns. We didn't realize that the first day or so. Yeah, a good idea, and what most large clans would do. I'm not liking this light, actually. I think I'll have to change the colors again. What a lot of clans would do is don't use your wow. I only got this today and I've kind of been playing with it. Let's stick on something like that, but let's put it over here where it's not really going to be in the way and annoying people. There's a shadow here. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, a lot of people, what they would do in the bigger clans is don't use the the bits and pieces that you get, the ingredients, the alchemical ingredients and various resources. Don't use these ingredients, save them up, and when somebody else is looking for them, you give them basically what they're looking for, and instead of you using them, you ask for them. I think it makes a difference to the points, and you get some extra points because your clan is kind of getting more involved, but obviously people need to be online for that. It's a bit pointless you looking to make a cauldron and there's nobody else online and you're waiting for somebody to give you the request for the color, whether it be blue, red or green, whatever it is. I think they're the 3 colors. So yeah, that's something obviously that people do. It's a practice team building. Yep. As are many things in this game, as Princess has so rightly pointed out, it is about team building. It's about clan building. It's things that you need to do in your clan. You know what I mean? You need to be able to do all of these things to get stronger and grow in the game. It very much is clan based. Total Battle is a clan game, whether people like it or not. When you start off the game, you're in a computer generated clan. You really need to quickly get into a decent clan, and a clan that will give and offer you the same things as you were expecting out of the game. I.e., if you're going to be spending some money on the game and you're going to be crypting and attacking epics a lot and trying to grow fast, you really need to get into a clan that has like-minded ideas and plans for the future. It's very important that. As we saw, it was possible to help, but didn't realize it was a requirement. I'm now using my alt for all the assists so I don't wait. Okay. No 66 or 75% speed ups in Elite Triumphal rewards is bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, kind of is. The 75s were never going to be something you're going to pick up. If I remember rightly, actually, years ago, the 75% did show up in chests. I'm nearly sure I remember seeing some the odd time. Can't remember what it was. It could have been from Citadels, maybe. But yeah, the 66s, it is a bit crazy. I mean, what do we use those speed ups for in reality, right? Really, we're only going to use them for attacking Ulrics, whether it be in Kingdom versus Kingdom, or you're attacking an Ulric in another kingdom because his shield is dropped and there's lots of ingots and probably silver in a city. Again, you would use the 66% there, and they are hard come by. So yeah, that obviously is a bit greedy. Sully, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for dropping in. You need to team up with others in your clan, Princess. You need to team up with others in your clan. Don't rely only on your alt. Day one, collect a fuck ton of ingredients so you're always ready to assist. I keep 15 of each color at the ready. Yep. No brainer. This is the way it should be. You should always have, just when you have spare 10 minutes, just find these Sakuras and just basically mine them. Keep going. It doesn't matter that you've reached your lantern points. So that's immaterial. You just need to go and get as much ingredients as possible. And as you have them, just continue to create them, okay? They won't disappear. They stay regardless of the fact until the end of the event, obviously. So you always have them. So if somebody's looking for one, you can click on that. There's no help requests currently. And you can basically gift the person the ingredient. So yes. Where are we here? You need to team up in 15. Speaking of rewards, the chests in Ragnarok were terrible. I wasted so many points getting all 5 for the clan. I saw on Reddit others noticed the same. HPR, that is basically a lot to do with what level you are, and B, what level your whole clan is. The higher level players generally would get higher rewards. I mean, they do get higher rewards. But it is specific to the size of Bob, Tin Man, Rise of Ancients, Epic that you are killing. The higher and the harder they get to kill, plus obviously your dominance towards the Tome of Knowledge, which obviously is the bonus for gifts that you will get when you kill them. That's ultra important too. So you will see an improvement to those, but just remind me what level you are and what might level your clan is. It is specific to that. I mean, even so much so that in the clan I'm in currently, I'm back on K113, by the way. where all my old friends are. That is RRN, Rico's Roughnecks. I am here for probably a couple of weeks at least, because obviously my 37 days buff to move has stuck, and at that stage I will have completed my Seasonal Kingdom. I've completed it now, to be honest, and I will be pulling my Seasonal Kingdom alt onto 113, most likely returning to Hype with my main. It'd be good to get back there too. My clan is fine and we send potions to each other. I was just trying to get it over with and realized I could use the alt. Okay. Johnny again. This is the Johnny stream. Johnny Appleseed. Shout out to you, my friend. 100,000 dragon coin boxes only arrive in like 0.1 of chests, mainly only rare level 30 or epic 30 or epic 35 chests. And yes, that is a good point. Obviously, again, in the Rise of Ancients event, as you are higher might level, you will see a lot of DCs come in from Rise of Ancients kills. So again, it kind of does jump depending on the size you are, and the good gifts will follow the bigger clans, so to speak. But again, it is totally down to the size of the ancient that you are attacking and defeating. That is ultra important, really. Tar Mastery Tournament not being divided up into divisions is ugly. Excuse me. It is. There's a lot of divisional tournaments, mini events that run, that the divisions are definitely crap. El Crapo. For sure, they should be split down. I would be reckoning that there should be maybe 4, certainly 3 to 4 league divisions, let's say. Because as soon as you hit G7 or G8, straight away you're bumped into the top league, and it's very hard to compete in. Obviously, if you're in Seasonal Kingdom, that's about the best chance you have for being able to get a few badges for these mini events. But to be honest, Johnny, the mini event prizes, the gifts, are pure crap as well. I mean, 10% crypting efficiency or 10% building efficiency. Who wants building efficiency when you're, a level, whatever, 600 million might player? You're not going to be building anything else. You're probably near finished at that stage, or very close to. So yeah, I would agree with you there. Definitely ugly. The smaller players should have a good chance of being able to rank in some of these events. Cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday. A nice cab sauv. Thank you, good to know. I'm still a new player and realizing my clan isn't one of the mightiest. They don't require a lot, so it's fine for now. Absolutely. And again, as I'd mentioned, it is what you were prepared to put in should be what you expect back from your clan. If that's not happening, definitely worthwhile a move. There's a guy actually, it might pop on here later on. He just came to this kingdom. By the way, this kingdom is open up for anybody who would like to come. I will be pushing it a few times on videos and live streams. There is a lot of space here on this kingdom. There's plenty of room for players to come here and grow. There are a lot of sister clans of RRN that do several different tasks and have many different players on them. Okay, it is a very peaceful kingdom. Everybody gets along really well. The king, Alfredo, again, a shout out to him. It's been a while since we chatted, but we just picked up where we left off. So that's why I'm back here. So anybody who is interested in coming, I have a new player there, somebody on the Discord channel. Sullivan is his name. You probably saw him. He has come here from the kingdom he was in, and literally within the first couple of hours, he was singing the praises of the place. He's delighted to be in a clan now that has like-minded aspirations for the future, for their accounts and his account. Please, you're more than welcome to come here. If you come here, I can help you out in the game. You'll be able to do CP runs. There's a lot of things that work really freely and really well here. And so, yeah, K113 is open to people who'd like to come. You can obviously message me on Discord. You can message me in-game at any stage and we can have a chat about it. Back to the chat. Don't want to miss anything. Ugly. After either paying either 1 million gold or $50 to unlock a hero, anytime you want to switch hero, you have to pay again. If you buy a hero, it should be like captains. Aaron, that was just mentioned earlier on in the chat by Johnny Appleseed. And yes, you are quite right. It is a lot to expect after you having received that hero. It should be like captains that you can switch them out. But again, that's just down to the greed of the developers, which isn't nice. It's not going to cost them much. In fact, it's going to cost them nothing for people to be able to swap. People would probably buy more heroes if that was the case. I'm sure people look at it and go, okay, I could buy Thaddeus, or I could buy Ulrich, or buy Aaron. But what's the point? Because then it's going to cost me each time I want to swap them back. So yes, that is prohibitive. And even though it's a small amount to the developers, it's not a small amount to people who are trying to play this game on a very tight budget and not spend money. So yeah, I 100% agreed with Johnny, and I 100% agree with you. And Aaron, thanks for dropping in, and thanks for posting in the chat. Bad Princess, they are making epic points harder for T9. I noticed that. This current special event, I can get all the rewards in 3 to 4 hits with my T8. It's triple at my T9. Yeah, I noticed that as well, and very much so. I noticed it actually on Seasonal Kingdom, having gone from G7 to G8. The jump is massive, and to get the 2.2 million gifts, coins to use in the forest shop is like a gazillion points now. It's crazy. You need to hit it like 10 or 15 times when the epics, compared to maybe hitting it 4 or 5 times previously. So yes, I would definitely agree with that. Whether or not they'll change that, hey, who knows? HPR, I'm G4, almost G5. Clan might is 2.1 billion with 167 million might. We don't have any G8, G9 players. I believe our leader is only G6. Well, I mean, that's it in a nutshell, to be honest. You will only receive the good gifts from the epics as your clan improves and grows. That's just the nature of the game. It's the same in most things. It's right down to the likes of mercenaries. So the amount of mercenaries you would get when you hit G6, they're whatever the given amount is. I can't remember exactly. For example, in the mercenary exchange. But when you get to G8, that mercenary exchange total amount of mercs increases. So again, as you grow, you know, the game is aware that you're going to need more resources to be able to attack and get better points. But yes, at the same time, then on the flip side, as Princess has pointed out, your points go through the roof when you get to G8, G9, or from the point you get to G9. Which kingdom clan? So it's Kingdom K113, and the clan, I'm currently going to be jumping around clans, giving a few guys help here, but I will be settling in either RRN Elite or RRN 2, basically. Depends just what way I'm going to work it as regards CP runs. I have a few guys coming here, probably in the next few days for sure. Maybe actually towards the end of Seasonal Kingdom, because they're pushing hard on that and they'll want CP when they get here. Obviously the CP run thing I am doing on a tier membership basis. You can go onto my Ko-fi page and you can have a look at the Platinum membership. In the Platinum membership, you will get CP runs, monthly CP runs. I'm more than happy to have a chat if anybody wants weekly CP runs or daily CP runs for that matter. Quite happy to have a chat with you and we can work something out in the game as well. But obviously you will need to be in the same kingdom as me to be able to do those CP runs. I'm not prepared to do it from kingdoms across. It's too messy and hard to do, and you need the right hero anyway. You won't go on you. And let me just make sure I don't click something incorrectly here. Good to know. Which clan? How's your treasury looking? My personal treasury or the treasury in the kingdom? I mean, look, there's plenty of kingdoms around that are close by. I haven't done any hunting yet. Where we are on the map, just to show you. K113, we've got K109, 105, 104. There's no big super big clans close to us. AGW2 to the left, UHC, SFC. I suppose SPR would be the biggest ones that are closest to us on 119. Other than that, well, in fact, sorry, SFC are there. They're in the Platinum League, I think it is, the minute. So yeah, they would be one fairly big clan. But really after that, there's plenty of hunting opportunities. If you like using Éireann, you can move here, you can settle in, and you will like it here. We are a friendly bunch. There's one thing I will say about this kingdom. Everybody likes to have a chat. All the guys in RRN, Rico's Roughnecks, Rico especially, a shout out to you, my friend. I know you haven't been well. We'll have a chat soon. Yeah, look, they're friendly guys on here. They like to have a chat and have a laugh. And because this kingdom has been around for a long time, there is a lot of camaraderie, but genuine camaraderie, battle camaraderie here, compared to, let's say, some of the newer kingdoms down in the 220s, 230s, 240s, where there would just be a tighter kind of family community feel about them. That's what I've noticed from moving around to the younger kingdoms. It's very much so, oh, we've been here for 8 months and we got on so well, and my brother plays the game and my sister plays the game, and he's married to my uncle now through the game. There's a lot of kind of really family oriented style of play in the newer kingdoms, whereas these are battle hardened guys and girls on K113. We've been through lots together, and it's enjoyable, don't get me wrong. And I know somebody said to me, the guy who moved here, he took a look around and he said, there's a lot of cities burning, is that normally the way it is? And basically, yeah, this is a clan with a lot of alts in here, and they just don't put shields up. They don't bother. You know, there's no worries. But I can guarantee you, if you have a look at some of these, I was looking there earlier on, like, you know, they have 10,000 and 20,000 and 30,000 ingots. So people aren't attacking. It's a quiet enough kingdom in that regard. There's no real pressure from outside sources. But again, because RRN are a good sized clan, they can look after themselves, put it that way. That's another thing. My clan is getting back into CP runs. We did a test and people weren't following directions, but I'm excited to get more specialists. Yes, HBR, not only specialists, but your army modernization section is really, really important. Do not forget to update that. I would even suggest, I don't know what level specialist you're at now, but I would even suggest that next time you get some CP, pile everything into that. The sooner you get your army mod section up to at least level 5, if not a little bit higher, you will see a massive difference in your hit strength when you're attacking epics and even other players, and obviously your CP runs as well. So don't leave that aside. It's really, really important. Johnny, getting stars on Ramses is ugly. I know. Jeez, Ramses. I just leveled him up another star, and it took me for fucking ever. So yeah, he's only 3 stars at the minute. It'd be nice to get him all the way over to 210, and he will be my he's my go-to. I use him when I'm hitting citadels. So I have my level 25 citadel. Did I save it? No, I didn't. Basically my level 25 citadel I can do with Fire Phoenix and some T3 catapults with no losses. So yeah, Ramses is good for that. Yeah, as Princess points out as well, but if you're not capable of getting Beowulf, you don't play Seasonal Kingdom, and you have no intention of playing Seasonal Kingdom, I'm sorry I even started Seasonal Kingdom. No, I'm not. If you're never going to play Seasonal Kingdom, then Ramses will be your only option as a health option. But he's only good in certain stages. Like I said, if you're attacking citadels, it's good. I might show you one of them later on how I do it. Let me have a sip here. Don't worry. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I've heard the G6 marks are better than my current ones. Yeah, G6 marks are the top marks in the game. And again, as I've said, if you are increasing your army modernization, that works for every troop across the categories. So it works for all your silver troops, works for all your mercenaries, and it'll work for all your monsters. So improve your ranged units, your melee units, your mounted units and your flying units. And as you push across the army mod section and you're improving that constantly, trust me, you will see great improvements. The new Zeus artifact and Torch artifact are good. I would agree with the Torch artifact, Torch of Olympus, brilliant. I have that on Carter at the minute. I have it 3 and 2 stars. So yeah, that's definitely made an improvement to my crypting. I currently have 2 red. I want to see if I can get better than that next Hellforge. But yeah, I'm happy enough with Carter. And as you can see, guys, just to reiterate something that was pointed out the other day, don't bother leveling Carter up over 300. 300, he pretty much maxes out his efficiency on crypts. The gear, the gems, and the enchantments are the only other thing that's going to push that a little bit further. But increasing his level is kind of pointless. So once you hit 300 with him, job done. You don't need to do any more. Obviously, the Torch of Olympus is worthwhile boosting as well. But again, you get to a situation where you will be at the size I am or close to it, and you will realize that you're not going to have to worry about tar. As you can see there, I've got 221 million common tar. I've got 23 million rare tar, and I've got 17 million epic tar. And I find it hard to spend. Obviously, crypting is something that's important in clans. It brings in chests for the clans. So you will need tar. But when you're killing a decent sized epic, the gifts that you're getting from that, there'll be a lot of tar in, and that helps to push you on in the game. So yeah, that is important, obviously. Zeus artifact, Marsan, hello, welcome, and thanks for joining the feed, my friend. The new Zeus artifact, to be honest, Johnny, I haven't really done much with it. I think it's only like 1.5%. I know we had a conversation about this previously on a previous video. I'm not mad about it. I'll upgrade it if I get any fragments, but I haven't bothered. It's the double damage. I don't know. I'll play about with it sometime and see. But if you think about it, it really is going to have to go in conjunction. It'll be the likes of thing that you will use on Arachne, which is a shit epic. Excuse my French. This video is not made for children. Any children tuned in now, please tune out. Yeah, the Zeus artifact, you're having to drop a strength artifact in place of that. I really don't see the point of it. Maybe we'll come up with it. Maybe somebody will give me a good suggestion for the Zeus artifact. But right now, at the minute, it looks a little bit like an urn that you might keep the ashes of a bereaved relative in, and they are still somehow coming back to you from the ether, and that's their little lightning inside. Their soul is still working away. I'd just put it on the mantelpiece and probably, I don't know, throw paper airplanes at it, something like that. So no, I haven't used it yet, sorry. Where are we going here? I love Ramses. You just have to know when, where, and how to use them. Yep, I'd agree with that. Do you have Bayo? Are you asking me, Princess? No, I do not have Bayo. No, I will not be getting Bayo. I just went for the 2 artifacts this time. As I say, I've got to a stage in the game where I am done. I'm here to help people now, okay? Everybody knows that, I think, at this stage. I'm not shooting for 2 billion. I'm not shooting for 3 billion. I don't want to be Reefer. I don't want to be any of these big guys. I'm happy to just tick along. And what keeps me interested in this game now is the likes of this. Live streaming, helping people, chatting to people, explaining the pitfalls that I messed up on as I grew in the game, and just trying to generally help them through the game and learn more. You know, there's always something. You always learn something new. Every day you learn something new. If you're not learning anything new, you're not hanging around with the right people. Where are we now? So yes, no, I don't have Bayo. Johnny, I have everything. Oh, maybe you were asking Johnny. Yeah, you know already I don't have Beowulf. Seasonal Kingdom every 3 to 5 months is bad. Yeah, of course it's bad, but Jesus, they make a packet off it. All you have to do is go and look at the 6 seasonal kingdoms currently running. 11, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. 8 seasonal kingdoms running at the minute. And look at the clans. Look at the size of the clans in it. UFC, for example, In 1015 are there's 2 guys in there that are 1 billion might already. So they are my might level in Seasonal Kingdom, and has been running for 65 days now. I mean, come on. Such a absolute waste of money. Fuck me. You could probably feed a small family for a year in some countries for the amount of money that they've spent on that. That's just, hey, guys, it's your money. Do with it what you want. But I just think it's too much. It's too much. Where are we? Trying to keep all the comments coming. It's great to see so many things. There are too many kingdoms now. Yes, there are. Yes, definitely bad. Seasonal Kingdom should be maximum twice a year. Maybe one in March and one in October, something like that. I think that's plenty. But like I say, it's a money grab. Everybody knows that. Everybody said that. Anybody in any of the kingdoms has said at this stage, they're well aware Total Battle are just greedy fuckers. There will be a few bits of swearing here. I'm Irish, and when I get annoyed and how should we say? Oh, it'll come back to me. Marsan, you have a question. Yes, my friend. I'm close to G5 and my hero is at level 50. Is there a way to check from which hero level I'll jump to a higher division? I must admit the talents at level 65 look tempting. They do, but it is very important for you to keep your hero at a lower level until you get to a point where you're able to jump up. I would suggest to G6. So if I were you, I would continue to have your hero at a low level and work on your captains. You want your captains to be the ones that are doing all the killing and are the ones that are increasing level by level at this point in time. So hold off. I know they're tempting, but trust me, if you go hell for leather and then you improve your hero above a certain point, everything in the game will suddenly become a chore, and you don't want that. You want to keep enjoying this game as long as possible. So work on your other captains. Forget about your hero. Step away from them. Don't use them. Sure, use them in against maybe one of the epics, but try not to level him up. You do not want to hit 65 too early. And at level 50, I definitely wouldn't be doing it yet. I'd be pushing maybe closer to level 80 or 90 or maybe even 100 million might before you get your hero up to that point. That's my opinion on it. Logos not helping for HOF boost is ugly. Logos not helping for HOF. Which is HOF? HOF. Oh, yes. Sending the blue goo to your temple. Is that what you mean? No? What's HOF? Terry, how you doing? So glad I found your channel and will definitely be coming across. Spending far too much real money on this at the moment. Yes, my friend, you and many, many others. I am looking at Facebook pages constantly and looking at people asking questions and telling players that they're on super might, but they can't kill this, that, and the other. And it's because they're not doing certain things in the game the correct way. But how could they? Because there's no information out there. Why am I running this channel? To get that information out there. So yes, but thank you for joining the stream today, Terry, and welcome. Johnny, 36 million Hellforge points for one level of godlike tournament gear is really ugly. Yeah, Hellforge was good. The time to put your effort in, to everybody listening to this now, pay close attention. Excuse me. You want to push Hellforge early on and do not use any of the coins. Because if you can do that, as you know, when you kill on Hellforge and you get the tokens, they carry over until the next Hellforge event. So you just keep carrying over. Because when you go into Hellforge and you look in the shop and you can get a really top armor, that's the time to get it. And that boosted on your captains or hero will make a massive difference. If you wait until you get to a higher level and then you realize how hard it is to get to that same level on Hellforge, you will wish that you could go back in time. So Hellforge is really important. People will tell you that, for example, me crypting and trying to get all of these materials to be able to go into the forge and, for example, make myself Omniscience gear. And by the way, if you can, skip the Tomb Raider gear. Tomb Raider gear is not good. If you compare it and look across at the percentages, for green gear it's 8% exploration efficiency, for blue it's 12, for purple it's 18, for orange it's 26. Just remember that number of 26 for orange. If I go into Omniscience, if I can get to green equipment here, which is only 3 steps across as opposed to 6, I can get to 26 exploration efficiency. However, I can also get a massive boost to my epic crypt exploration. I can also get a boost to the speed I march to a crypt, the range I can run to a crypt. That's all very important. So try and skip that Tomb Raider stuff. Concentrate on trying to get the Omniscience. However, as we know, when you're trying to get the Omniscience and you're running to these crypts and you're trying to get all of these pieces, this is even me doing 30s and 35s. I'm still picking up really crap materials. So Hellforge is win-win. That is what you will use to get these good gear. Hellforge, Hellforge, Hellforge. It's a crap event because it doesn't give you any Valor points. You get experience points, obviously, but you don't get Valor points. So remember that. Omniscience gear for Captain Carter. Really important. It'll help you. Back to the chat. The Hellforge tree is disgustingly ugly. Johnny, we'll give you your own channel. Okay, and you can just, we'll get on to Total Battle and say, I have a friend of mine who has a few suggestions for you. Here's his YouTube page. Where are we going here? That jumped a bit quickly. Where are we? We all spent too much early on. Get Curves calculator. Yeah, get the calculator. I won't, it's not my calculator, but I do have sole use and been given permission by the man himself, Jedi Tuco. He created this calculator. You look at it and it is hard to kind of fathom. There are 2 videos done on it. If you missed the first one, don't bother watching the first one. Watch the second one. Okay, it's just €5 for the calculator. One fee, not a monthly fee, not a yearly fee. One fee, once-off fee of €5. You get the calculator. Watch the video intently. Watch it again, then watch it again. Then go in and do everything I tell you to do it while watching it again. And once you have everything right, trust me, the hits that you will get will be the best you have got compared to any calculator. Any calculator that you look at that gives you, for example, 1,000 melee and 1,000 ranged troops in a battle, that's not correct. Your ranged troops are always stronger than your melee units, so there needs to be a discrepancy between the two. So some of the calculators out there just give a rounded figure. That's not good. You need to use this calculator. It is definitely worthwhile, as my good friend Princess has said. Then only spend on Gold Pass, Premium and Rapid March. Then you can start looking at your credit card statements again. Yeah, definitely. That is definitely the way to go. Very, very good advice there from my good friend and administrator and moderator on our Discord channel, Princess. Thank you, my friend. Yes, one chest on Arachne might be one of the worst parts of the game. It is definitely one of the worst parts of the game. It's one of the worst epics of the game. For one chest, it's crazy, but it is definitely a good one to be able to bring 3 captains, 2 fighting captains, and the likes of Captain Carter or Helen or Farhad or Aurora if you're a low-level player, and they will help to boost those captains and bring them up levels, which will be important as you move on in the game. Aaron Rose again. It takes beginner players a lot of time and or money to grow consistently. After Ancients, most players are out of gold and silver. The chest for killing low-level Ancients are low. They are, and as I said earlier on, to just reiterate, the bigger clan you can possibly get into as a small player will benefit you if it is a working clan. And by a working clan, I mean a clan that everybody does their little part for everybody else, okay? There's no point in you going into a clan them doing 20 chests a day and you doing 2 chests a day. You will not last in that clan. They will kick you out as soon as they let you join. You need to put in the same effort as another player, all the other players do in that, okay? That is ultimately the most important part about being in a good clan. The good clan is only as good as the clan members in it. Where else are we? Zeus artifact for forting more of your troops. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. And or collecting silver to bring more troops. Yeah. Okay. On the back of that, Princess, I will definitely be boosting my Zeus artifact. Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Obviously, if you are in your own kingdom, you could use Thaddeus, and Thaddeus will give you the 25% leadership boost. So that means you will be able to take more troops to the fort if you want to empty them during maybe KVK, but then you wouldn't be playing with Thaddeus during KVK. You'd be playing with Alric. But yes, for sure, if you want to bring more G1 troops, when you're going to collect your gazillion silver from K96 because somebody's shield dropped and they got kicked from clan territory to try and get stop anybody attacking them. Yeah, that's definitely a time and a good point. That is a good point for using Zeus artifact. So yeah, maybe I will do a little bit of work on that. Beowulf and Skadi can only be leveled up by continuing to do seasonal. Leveled up, as you mean star leveled up? No, they will be able to increase stars, but that will be on the that will be on, what's it called again? Basically, it's the event that runs directly after Seasonal Kingdom. Seasons, I can't remember the name of it is. Somebody had put it up in the chat. I can't get down. I'm way behind now. Let me just come on. I'll come back to that. Yeah, so basically, it's an event that happens directly after Seasonal Kingdom, and it won't be in the Seasonal Kingdom. It'll be back at your main, whatever you've decided to take back, or if you move your alt or your Seasonal Kingdom account to the kingdom that your main account is in, then you will be able to basically seasons end, no, I can't remember what it's called. That will give you the opportunity to be able to get both artifacts for the Forest Crown, Heart of the Forest, or for Beowulf and Skadi. So yes, there is a possibility outside, but where you can, do as much work during Seasonal Kingdom to level them up, because leveling them up will also obviously make a massive difference. Sure, the stars will boost them on something in jumps of percentages, but just keep working on them while you're in your current Seasonal Kingdom. And Johnny again, paying 100 million silver to break godlike epic gear is kind of stupid. Paying 100 million silver to break godlike epic gear. I'm not sure what that's pertaining to, but I know you'll tell me. Yeah, you're keeping me busy, flustered and flummoxed. Or I'll just ignore you and I'll mute you for a while. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm a nice guy. I wouldn't mute anybody unless they really, 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 really annoy me. No, look, all these questions are good. Anybody here asking a question is good, because whilst the bigger players in the game, like myself and Princess and maybe a couple of the people who are just looking in and haven't said anything yet, they are well aware of all these questions and they've been asked before, but I need them to be asked again, because there's a lot of new players on here and a lot of players who watched this stream after it being live because they couldn't make it for one reason or another. They will learn from these questions that are asked and answered correctly, I hope. But I know you guys will pull me up if I say something wrong. That's what you're here for, right? So yes, you keep me busy. When I was Aaron, when I was a G4 and G5 player, I dug for silver three to 4 days straight just to rebuild my army. It is tough. It is tough for sure. And where possible, where at all possible, if you can create a silver alt city early in the game, I would strongly, strongly suggest it. because mining silver is just a never-ending task. And when you're just mining 1 million at a time, and there's an outside chance if you jump into a mine that either you've made, i.e. it's player generated rather than the computer generated, just 1 million mines, it's tough. It is tough. Again, I've got to come back to one important point. If at the start of this game, any player, new player starting this game, if you just set out to do one thing, and that is to get Carter and increase Captain Carter's level, I would suggest up to, where possible, a minimum of 80 to 100 million might. If you can get Carter up to that level, he will bring you silver every time he crypts, okay? Have I got a crypt here? Oh, I missed the end of Mercs. Oh, well. Shit happens. Where is... I did some crypting there yesterday. No, there wasn't there. Okay, so this is a crypt that I did with Captain Carter. Now, okay, granted, I'm at the top level with Captain Carter here, and I've got great artifacts on him. But if you scroll down, you will see that I got 8 45,000 packs and 9 15,000 packs in silver. You will get silver when you crypt with Captain Carter. It's really important. You will benefit greatly from having him and driving his level up. He really, really, really is so important. Everybody's so gung-ho about, oh, I have to get Captain A-Day up, or I have to get... I'm trying to pick another one, or see this. If you're not going for any of the top captains like Cleopatra or Hercules because they cost money, or Helen because it costs money, then you're working on your normal captains. But at the start of the game, you will want to be working on certain captains. A-Day is important because she will be the one you'll have to start all your attacks. Captain Strower is important because he's the one you're going to want to send to mine, and he'll mine quicker the higher level he is. But Captain Carter, as you can see there, is such an important part of the game. Once you get your crypt exploration efficiency up, it costs you less tar to crypt, and you will bring in better gear and be able to make better gear for your captains. So yes, while silver is hard to get early on in the game, hey, it just is what it is. Where are we now? Iron Rose. March speed-ups and process speed-ups go quickly after total development expires. It does for sure, and it takes forever to get anything done. Crypts or attacks, etc. Yeah, it does. You just have to do as much as you can. Again, if you're starting this game from scratch, which nobody is here because anybody watching this will be on the game already. If you can start the game and you can literally sit in front of your PC for that full day, and then at the end of the full day, just before the expansion pack kicks in, take it then. That means you will have had 24 hours or 23 hours or 23 and a half hours. Then you start your expansion pack, and then you have another 2 days. If you can sit in front of that game for 3 days and just work those captains, you will have got to a good level, and you will have a great starting platform to be able to progress from. Very important. Where are we? Johnny, Hall of Fame. Yeah. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, yay or nay? What are you saying? Sully, how you doing? How are you getting on, my friend? What do you think about getting Hercules to 2 stars, an extra 30% on epics? I'll be honest, I was working on Herc. I did get Herc, and I currently have him at 3 stars. I won't be pushing him any further than that. Again, I'm happy with the hits that he's making. For me to be able to keep up with the clan requirements and the minimum points that you need to get in the likes of Rise of Ancients, for example, I know I could make him improved a lot better, but to be honest, I will probably just improve the artifact that I'm using with him, which is the Forest Crown. I have it up. That's one good thing about the artifacts that you get from Seasonal Kingdom. You can upgrade these without having to worry about leveling the stars up. So as you can see, my army strength and health on this currently is up at 169%. yet. Even if I wanted to, I could increase it. If there was loads of artifact experience, I could put all of that on now, and it will keep going up to whatever the top level is. It is not going to be held back because of the stars that I have on it, or don't have on it for that matter. So yeah, I worked on Hurk. I have him up to 415. I'm happy with the hits he is making. I did switch back and started using Cleopatra for a while and putting the epic gear on her and the same artifact. She just doesn't hit the same because she doesn't have such a good boost against the epic squads, but I do want to try and improve her level, and I will push it on bit by bit. We're starting to get a bit of a shadow on this now, so let's move it a little bit. I hope it doesn't fall into this glass of water. How's that? Too bright? It's okay. Excuse me. So back to it. Hall of Fame, I'll touch on that at some point towards the end. Before the end. I didn't skip over purposely, Johnny. Rare captains don't help in Hall of Fame after certain levels. Yeah, no, probably don't actually. And I'd be honest, I didn't spend that much time in Hall of Fame. I just, if I improve a captain, I will go into it, but I'm not centered on looking to see how many captains I need to get to level 330. I think it's more important. Look at, again, if you were starting from a low level or you're a low level player, it's probably better to try and keep all of these captains close, or keep the captains you're working on close together, because you know, at 330, for example, I have to get Dustan up to 330. That's 16 levels. That'll be 26 levels for Carter. But again, when they've got to 330, they're going to push for the next one, which means the other ones are going to just fall way, way back. So to be honest, Hall of Fame is probably something that you can spend more time on and pay more attention to early on in the game than at this point. I mean, I have thousands of tenacity points there, hundreds of thousands, in fact, that I'm never going to use, tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. So yes, Hall of Fame is Hall of meh. Lavatar event does not give specialists enchantments. Lavatar event does not give specialists enchantments and many other enchantments. It only gives certain ones, and the game makers lowered the rewards on Lavatar event. The game makers are always lowering shit, and that's part of today's video. The players, we the players, are getting extremely annoyed at the things you are doing to make us spend more on this stupid but addictive game. And this is why we're having this discussion and video today. Where are we? Sorry, I can't see around my wine. Ragnarok is good, but the Wolf is kind of a sleazebag. The Wolf is a sleazebag because Fenrir gives such crap VP returns. End of. They did that purposely. Compare hitting Fenrir to hitting Doomsday or hitting the Chimera, blah. Yeah, during Olympus. And you'll see a better result. In fact, do you even get VP off the Chimera? Chimera. Chimera, I think I heard somebody pronounce it as. Yeah, Ragnarok is good. Ragnarok is good because you can get all of the experience points, and that in itself actually is another point for any new and aspiring players. Ragnarok is important to save up your, I shall show you here, save up your experience points in the shop, i.e. these here. Now they won't be the same as what you're looking at here. They increase as you increase your guardsmen. So in the Jormungandr shop, you get 32 3 times maybe 9 billion, I think it is. And then it jumps to 14 or 20 or 30, 2.5. you get these experience points, and they are good to help level up your captains. So the next time you do Ragnarok, if you don't want to spend time attacking epics using your Carter, purchase these in the store and use them when your Carter is under, or any captain is under 100 million might. Once they kind of get to 100 million might, it kind of borders on the line of being too costly to spend these experience points on a captain to boost their level. Usually that's something that's a good idea to do if you're low on silver. Definitely use those experience points, and obviously you can get them in other parts of the game as well. I think Olympus as well, as Johnny just said. Was it Johnny? Where are we now? Seasonal Kingdom Legacy. Yes, thank you, Princess. That's correct. Seasonal Kingdom Legacy event, which takes place after Seasonal Kingdom ends, and that will be in your main account. Okay, so you will be able to do that on your kingdom that you are in with your main account. So if you're staying in Seasonal Kingdom with your new account that you've managed to get bigger than your main, then that's fine. That's where it will take place. It will follow basically your account. You'll be in whichever one you want to use it in. So yes. Rare captains don't help in Hall of Fame after certain levels. You could be wrong. It could be. I don't know. I'm not going to pick you up on that one. Lavatar event does not give special... Oh yeah, I talked about that. Yep. With 10 to 12 artifacts, we should... I have to keep clicking on this because this keeps... Let me just go to my city where I am. I have a nice little island. See this? I'm surrounded by water on all sides. I go for a walk around the island a couple of times a day. It's not breezy. It's really nice. Do a bit of fishing off this little... I do a little bit of fishing off this point as well. Caught myself a load of mackerel there yesterday. Enough of the quick attempt at humour. Where are we talking here? With 10 to 12 artifacts, we should be able to equip hero with one. Yep, totally agree. That's a good idea. Johnny talks sweetly to the wolf. He's a nice pup. When godlike rag gear breaks permanently, it's 100 million silver to break it down is what we mean. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is a bit of a swizz. But in fairness, if you've got Ragnarok, good godlike Ragnarok gear, you're not going to be short of 100 million, Johnny. Come on. You know. Johnny has been playing for 2 years. Ain't new. I just have a plethora of information to share or talk about. Hey, it's all good, my friend. It's all good. Hey, Johnny can't reveal. He is an MI5 agent in his spare time. You could reveal. Go on, tell us. Give us a general geographical location. Name something you can see from your window right now, Johnny. HPR, there's a player in my clan who is so hurt he can't get Helen. It's hilarious whenever she's brought up. How do you mean he can't get him? He's just annoyed because he can't pay for him, or he won't pay for him. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, Helen, to be fair, is really useful as you get higher in level. Don't need to worry about Helen early on in the game, is my honest opinion. Sure, when you can get her starred up to the max, and I managed to get her up to 680 the other day, so she has one more jump, and the jumps in food production are actually pretty good on Helen. So where she starts off, she gives you 40% food production speed. The troop training speed for me is a bit of a moot point. I don't see a massive difference. If you're in, again, a decent clan and there's lots of speed ups, you're not going to need to worry about that. So she jumps from 40 to 120, so that's triple basically, as you can see, and then 120 to 240. So the jumps are quite good compared to other captains in the percentage. Then up to 440, then up to 680, and then up to 1000. So yeah, when you have her fully starred, obviously she makes a massive difference to your food boost. Just to have just pure pig iron here. So my production speed without her there in the army is 4808250. And if I put her in with her gear on, it jumps up to 945. So it's more than doubled by just putting her there. So, again, it's not something you're going to have to worry about as a low-level player, because you aren't going to be making massive armies. You probably will be multiplying. If you're getting ready for an epic, you'd probably be doing maybe multiplying your army by maybe 3, 4, 5 times, so you can do 3, 4, 5 hits in a row. So, not important early on, but it's all good. Helen is amazing. She sure is. Total development is wasted on new players. They don't know how bad it gets with needing speed ups. Yeah, definitely. And as I just mentioned a little while ago, it really is important at the start of the game, when you start out, you really need to know this. You need to have watched videos about this game. But people generally just go into this blindly and start playing it and thinking, hey, this is kind of good. And then, as you say, the speed ups, everything getting done, instantly your speed to things just drops. And then they realize, oh, crap. And the clan I'm in, I'm not getting enough speed ups, etc., etc. And a lot of people I'd say a lot of people drop out of this game within 2 to 3 days after that development pack ends. I really do. I would say that the dropout rate, I'd say, would be very, very interesting. What else? Rare captains. Logos does not help HOF after certain levels, and Logos is only specialist captain, but the specialist artifact does help immensely. The specialist artifact does help immensely for sure, and I will take it on him. Well, I would have taken it on him everywhere he goes, but for the fact that I went and got the Forest Crown and the Heart of the Forest. But as you can see, if I put it on him here, that gives my specialists a health and strength boost to 69%. Currently, it is fully starred. That's up to 82%. But the random bonuses, basically, again, I'm getting another 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 strength from the random bonuses. So, yeah, it is definitely good. And the specialists, obviously, are really important in attacks against other players. But you could include him and that artifact in attacks against epics, and it'll just be sure to mean that your specialists will die first. But all of that information needs to be put into the calculator, troop calculator, troop calculator, troop calculator. It works. Where are we? Walls taking 30 minutes to rebuild. Johnny, who needs walls? It doesn't matter. Walls are absolutely useless. We all know in this game that if somebody wants to attack you and kill you, the walls will never, ever, ever stop them. Okay, unless they're tiny players and you can let them smack up against your walls. But you need to be a big player, and a tiny player isn't going to attack a big player with great walls. So yeah, but yes, wall building. Wall building. You know where I stand on wall building and siege engines. They're both something I think are wasted in Academy. Do not bother wasting your VP on Engineer Corps and your walls. Wait, you don't even need Bran. He's pointless. There's nothing else in here, should not, as regards that. It's only one captain that they give you. Yeah. Walls are not important because, trust me, anybody can get over your walls. You will not prevent them from stealing your silver, your ingots, your resources. So don't waste your VP. Again, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not the Oracle, but I'm speaking from experience. Waste VP on more important tasks and things in the game. Authority Rush is also scammy. It is and isn't. I wouldn't exactly say it's scammy. Let's just say you had a couple of thousand or 10,000 mercenaries and they were going to expire in an hour. How else are you going to use them? If Authority Rush was running, that is the time to use them. Just send them in to smack everything because they're gone anyway. As I say, in a couple of hours, you may as well get something for it. So if you can time your Authority Rush around the time your mercs all come to an end, that for sure is the best way to use them. Mimic chests are game developers laughing at us. Hey, Total Battle are game developers laughing at us. Please. There was something I was going to say. Season's Legacy. Yeah, that's right, Aaron. Thank you. That was mentioned a little while ago by Princess. Blueprints only being accessed by gold or credit card is ugly. Yeah, again, that's always going to be the way. Anybody's wondering what we're talking about. that is these great architect's blueprints, which you will need to upgrade your buildings. And you will need them in quite significant quantities when you are upgrading, for example, to get your G6s, G7s, G8s, and then G9s. You need to upgrade your buildings and have your hero at certain levels to be able to do that. So what I would suggest to you as you go along, if you're in a good clan and you have some gold available, just pop into the architect's blueprints and scroll down and go, okay, well, I've got 200,000 gold. Buy some of these, okay? They are specific to the amount you get. So 5,000 gold gets you 5,000. 15,000 costs you 150,000. So they are specific to the amount they cost, basically in fractions of 10. So just buy them every now and again. If you're considering or going to continue to play the game, you will need them right up to the point that you are upgrading your buildings. Don't bother. You obviously will need to get all the way up to 45 on some of your buildings to be able to get your capital to 45, okay? At that point, you don't need to upgrade other things. To upgrade, for example, you can see I have quite a few of my barracks here that have only gone to level 44. To upgrade from 44 to 45 is going to cost me 27,000 blueprints, okay? I do have the gold to do it, but to be honest, the jump doesn't quantify the use of it. So the dominance currently being, that's a jump of 25. That's nothing. The leadership is a jump of 100. Again, that's nothing. The unit training speed, 5%, is nothing. The might that I get from it, I don't need might anymore. Might is only an indicator. It doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, okay? It just looks good on your balance sheet, right? So yeah, like I say, when you get there, you just upgrade the buildings you want to level 45. There's no point in going further unless you have gold literally squirting out your pockets. Then sure, upgrade everything to level 45. Where else are we? Blueprints. 6th star to 7th star. Helen adds 1.2 to 1.5 million food production per hour. Takes forever to get 7th star. Yeah, I will push her up when I get to it. Okay, my dear, thank you very much for joining in here this evening, this afternoon, or this morning. I can't remember what time of the day it is where you are. Thank you so much for jumping into the stream, and thank you for your input today. We speak soon. And yes, anybody here not on the Discord channel, please jump in and and as Princess says, hysterical, and I'm generally helpful. I mean, I try, right? Aaron Rose, the excessive amounts of blueprints gold needed to upgrade buildings needed for G6 and above has caused players I know to quit the game. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things that have caused players to quit the game. And hey, that's the developer's loss, right? They have to get a fine balance, but there are things that they could improve on. They got me to start playing with the mini game. I thought the mini game was so childish looking, like it's literally just moving a mouse up and down. You didn't notice the automatic processes stopped for a while and then did some research. I know, yeah, you can get caught out on that, and it is it is important because you're flying. Everything's going fast, everything's brilliant, and then all of a sudden, poof, you realize, oh no, I have to buy a speed up. I have to buy premium so as I can get an increased speed up and help building my army and silver and food production. And I need great archaeologists to run fast to crypts because people are stealing crypts before I get to them. So yeah, it is. A lot of people drop out early on in the game. As I said earlier on, it is definitely... It is definitely a bit of a killer. Aaron Rose, I have a 7-star Clio about MIF. I have a 7-star Clio about MIF. You've 7-star Clio. Good, yeah, good job. 7-star Clio is great. You can use your 7-star Clio for attacking epics instead of using Hercules, and then you don't have to get Hercules. And yeah, she definitely is good. That's a strength of army to 210%, and that will give you a great boost in battle for sure. What else? I'm intrigued by the player you said stuck to Mattenheim. Yeah. I'm trying to remember his name now. Can't remember. It's been that long ago. But yeah, I don't know why he did it, but he swore blind that what he could do was as good as other players were doing, attacking with birds, Corax, for example, or with ranged units. But I know what he couldn't do. He couldn't do it as fast as other players could, because the catapults are the slowest troop in the game, as many of you will know. If we go into Engineer Corps here, and you just take a look, this is the top catapult in the game, the Josephine 2, and you can see that her speed, it is an inanimate object, is 23. Now you compare that to, let me just actually have a look here. So 27,500 strength, 23 speed, 110,000 strength for my Corax 2, and 40 speed. So I mean, I'm going to run at twice the speed, and the Corax are good for taking walls out. They do have a strength against fortifications of plus 1051%. Obviously your Engineer Corps have a higher percentage of bonus against fortifications, but again, as I keep coming back to, if you are attacking a player that has a huge city, you know, you're going to get over their walls. Nobody's going to attack me who can't kill my walls. I see so many people go into battles now and don't bother bringing catapults with them. There's no point. They slow you down. They are bulky. They cost more to build. They take longer to train. They use more food, etc., etc. The list goes on. They are a waste, in my honest opinion. The only good time for catapults is when you are attacking level 25 cursed citadels. Again, you can use them against elven citadels, but that is a case of being a bit of an Einstein when it comes to the hit factor, the hit position. No. Oh, that's what happens when you drink too much wine. So basically, when you attack an elven citadel, if you haven't set your troops up right, your centaur, the centaur in the elven citadel, will always take out some of your catapults. So you do have to set up your attack in such a way as to draw him away from the catapults and try and hit something else. But as I've mentioned before, if you go to Wolf's Citadels, so WOLFS citadels, pop on there, put in an example of a citadel, elven citadel, that you have attacked and one that you would like to do better on, and the guys on there will jump on, give you a hand and tell you what to use to evade the attack by the centaur on your siege engines. How are we doing here? Matapane. Walls can change first hits in battle reports over a long time frame. Yeah, that's true. But I'm still out on walls. There are more important things in the game to me to spend VP on than walls. But again, that's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own. Aaron, Cleo about level 330. Okay, I'm debating buying Hercules. Did you play Seasonal Kingdom, Aaron? And if you did you go for Beowulf or Skadi, or did you not play Seasonal Kingdom? For me, if you're asking my opinion, given the fact that you said you were... You did say you were, didn't you? I thought you said your might level. Sorry, can't find it there. The thing about Hercules is, when you get him, you'll want to star level him up as much as possible, and that will require more. So for me, Cleopatra will be just as good, and you can use Cleopatra on other tasks, whereas Hercules really is only there for epics. Yeah, he's going to be great for you when you're in Rise of Ancients. So as you're growing in the game, you pretty much, a lot of big clans will, a requirement to join a lot of big clans will be to have Hercules, or have Beowulf, I suppose, will be another option. You know, you can level him up, but just the fact that Hercules gives you a boost against epic squads, I think it's probably worthwhile having. But given the fact you have Cleo at 330 and 7-star, I'd push on with her, to be honest. If you're happy with your hits, if you want to send me an attack report by Cleopatra in game, you can see there on the screen, there is my coordinates. Just click on my city and send me a message, and I'll have a look and see. Easier to send it there than send it to Discord. I'll leave that there for a second. Back to here. Very strong walls, challenge, leadership needing. Okay, we got that. Hello, Legru. Hi, welcome to the chat, my friend. Thanks for joining. Very strong walls can change leadership needed on attacks. If an attacker sends less siege, they lose more troops than defender can win on first hit. I totally get what you're saying. Okay, I do totally get what you're saying. But if I'm going to attack somebody, I'm going to, at my level, if I'm going to attack somebody, I'm going after silver. I will have done one thing before I attack, and that I will have scouted their city. So I will see what's there troop-wise, and if they haven't paid their ingots or put a shield up after I've scouted, I know they're offline. At that stage, I'm just going to go with my fastest possible troop to get in and out before anybody gets reinforcements in, whilst also bringing straw if I don't need a full army to be able to defeat the whole army there. I'm not going to worry about walls. I'm not going to go, okay, let me just calculate how many siege engines are going to need to take down level 45 walls. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I want to get in and get out really fast. So I honestly, no matter what you say, you're not going to sway me. First hits, killing other troops on walls, I don't care. I'll smack a load of G1s up against the walls if I have to get over it just to get in and get the silver. So my opinion is not going to be changed on walls. I'm sorry. Yeah, Legru, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Jonathan, I can never have enough blueprints, so it seems. As I just mentioned, Jonathan, every time in the game that you get to a point that you have some gold, go in and buy some blueprints. That's what a lot of the guys have been doing over at Seasonal Kingdom, because obviously they have needed to level up Guardsmen G6, G7, G8, G9, etc. I don't think we have any G9s. No, we have one. No, we have two. You're going to need to be able to bring your buildings up to there. So if you just purchase some blueprints every so often, every time you get some extra gold in, just forget about the gold, go into the shop or go into your blueprints, buy the blueprints using your gold, and then when it comes to you needing them, you know they're going to be there. That's my best opinion on that, and it's worked well in Seasonal Kingdom. I don't see why you couldn't adapt that to the main game, because the main game is obviously going to take a lot longer. Where are we going here? Mattenheim and Bran strategy works very well, but you have to be a pretty big player to max out its effectiveness. Yep. Slow Josephines is one reason why people don't use them and lose lots of G9 or S9 on walls. Lots of players, big players that have billions of silver in banks in their clans, they don't care. Honestly, I'm going to stop talking about siege engines now. Then the defender gets first hit in defense. I understand what you're saying, and you've got an opinion about walls, and I have an opinion about walls, and ne'er the twain shall meet. Heroic monster chests should only give dragon coins in chests. Yeah, I know DCs are very hard to come by in the game, for sure. They are, and if you can get dragon coins, brilliant. If you can't, not so good. Guys, anybody else who has jumped onto the stream, don't be afraid to say hello and leave a chat, please. This is all about your views, and I need more and more people to leave their points about what they like about Total Battle, what they dislike about Total Battle, and what really, really annoys them the most about Total Battle. So I'll have a little rant now. As happened the other day, I sent my troops away from a portal during Kingdom versus Kingdom. I sent the attack and I clicked speed up 5 times and off they went running. And straight away, the attack disappeared from the underneath the box. Okay, now this is the game client that I'm using. This is the downloaded game client. Where did my troops go? How do I know they've hit the city? They also disappeared off the map, obviously, as well. How do I know they've attacked the city? How do I know when they're coming back from the city so as I can close my portal? Meanwhile, I'm sitting there with the portal open, a couple of 100,000 ingots and some silver sitting there from a previous attack I did. That is really, really annoying. Total Battle, get your act together. There was something else, but I'll come up with it now in a minute. Now, where did my chat disappear to? There we go. Yeah, if you've just dropped in, please say hello, leave a message. I am going to do... What am I going to do here? Back up there. Bring this back down. Bring this forward. Okay. Okay, I need to just check a live message in my chat there, as you can see. So give me 1 second. I will do a be right back. I will not be gone long. I will leave the mic on, but I just need to have a look at this message just to see if it is important. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, never mind. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and back to the game. Apologies for that. And a shout out to a friend and clanmate of mine, M. M, you will know who you are. Thanks for joining the live stream this evening. It's good to see you, or you to see me perhaps, or maybe not. I'm no oil painting. Anyway, thanks for joining in. Appreciate you. So yeah, where were we? How are we going here in the chat? Anybody, anything else? Johnny, again, keeping me talking. Ha la 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 la. Where are we now? Slow Josephine's. Then the defender gets hit. Enchantments once deleted are gone forever is bad. Maybe. Enchantments, yeah. Enchantments, it would be nice if they were like gems. And I don't see why they couldn't be. So when you get enchantments, and guys, for those of you who don't know what enchantments are, go into Forge, go into Workshop, scroll to the very bottom and click on Combine. They are your enchantments, okay? See, enchantments. And as you know, probably from playing the game, these you can increase when you get to 4 units. You click this button and you get to the next level, etc., etc. They will sometimes respawn, but that's down to something in the academy. But when you attach an enchantment into a piece of armor, it will be destroyed when the armor is destroyed, i.e. in this case, this red increased food production of building resources, food increases production of building resources, food, silver in the city. When this piece of armor gets dies, basically gets used to the full capacity, I can remove the gem. Okay, I can take it out. It's free if I have some of the godlike pincers or other pincers, depending on what level the gem is, or you have to purchase it in gold to be able to remove it. So I can save the gem. Why not make it the same for enchantments rather than just having an option to delete or just lose the enchantment by dismantling, or even at the very least, Total Battle, give us an opportunity of a percentage. So depending on the level of this, be it a godlike or be it an epic or an uncommon, give a percentage here in the third bracket for a possibility to be able to save that enchantment, so it would go back into your enchantments store list, basically. So even that, if you're not going to give us the opportunity to be able to remove it back into the enchantments, give us a chance to be able to win it back. Okay, that would be an idea. Maybe surely you could go for something like that. A little bit like, I know you're now giving enchantments during Torch of Olympus, and that is one thing actually I will give you props for. So Total Battle, you did a good job there, because enchantments, as everyone knows, were very, very hard to come by in the game, and the only time you got enchantments, if I'm not mistaken, was during your daily jobs. Okay, so every time you conducted daily jobs, you then were able to, for example, in here, daily jobs, if I wanted to add 1 or 10, 11 as it is, if I click on these, as you can see, these are the enchantments I'm speaking about. You would get enchantments every time you did your daily jobs. And I think that was the only way you used to get them. I don't think it was possible to get them from crypts. Maybe they used to be possible in crypts, but maybe make it a little bit fairer and give us the possibility for enchantments to be possible to keep, to win back when you delete some equipment. So maybe 99.9% chance of winning it back when you delete a piece of equipment. I think that would be fair. I think players would like that. It's not a massive bonus that they give anyway, so come on. Give something back to us, hey? We're not asking for much. What else? Heroic monster chest. Should I give dragon coins? Yeah. Another idea, we should be able to select number of chests to open, like silver boxes, etc., not all at once or individual clicks. We should be able to select number of chests to open, like silver boxes, etc. Yeah. But that's kind of what you can do already. So, whoa, excuse me. When you click on clan and you click on gifts, you can choose to open them one at a time. Is that not what you mean? As opposed to open them all at once. You have to click them, the gifts, you can claim them all at once, but the triumphal gifts you have to click one at a time. Is that what you mean, Johnny? Drader, welcome to the chat and the channel. Thank you for getting involved. Being forced to go back and research a ton of useless stuff, costing time and VP/CP in order to progress sucks, and it's really not clear ahead of time what is needed. That is true. That is true. They certainly are good at pushing their game, making it look better than it is. Their graphics and their AI stuff that they're using now, and the videos they're putting out are much more flashy, and they're just, the aesthetics of them are far superior than what it used to be at the start. But yes, they don't give anywhere near enough information. For example, some of the information that I am giving on my channel and in videos I've put out, not giving myself a pat on the back, is far superior to what Total Battle have told players about certain aspects of the game. So yes, it is really, really annoying in that case. Aaron, you didn't play SK. I don't blame you. If you've never played it before, don't waste your time. I don't think anything in there is worth it. Not unless you're a massive player and you're constantly attacking. I mean, is it worth it? It probably isn't worth it, to be honest. It's such a waste of time. You have to put so much time in there if you're in a decent clan, and you need to put in the same time as other people are putting in. You need to be at it hell for leather. It is just so intensive on time. It's nearly impossible. Like if I want 100, I type in 100 instead of 100 clicks. Yeah. I think that would involve them actually doing a bit of work on the coding. And I do know at this stage, from what I've seen in the past, the guys in there that do the coding are just, they're kind of they're really bad. Like, how they can close the game down for an hour to fix something and break something else is beyond me. Like, close it down for an hour, make it go on. Sure, Jesus, for the 1,000 gold they give us, make it go on for another 15 minutes and proof it, test it for sake. You know, why come back and have players telling them what's wrong and then giving us a measly 25k when they've taken hours of our day to fix something that didn't need fixing or do something? It's usually adding a new event. For example, the Lotus event that's run at the minute, the Lotus Festival. Jesus, what do we end up losing? All the journal went doolally. The chat wasn't working. Half the shit that ends up breaking every time they do stuff in the game, that really gets my wick. So Total Battle, you know, you suck at that. You really do. You suck at preventative measures. You suck at testing stuff before you put it back out in the public domain. So get your act together there. That really is weak at best. Currently I have G8 and 400 million byte currently. Well, that's good. You're flying, Aaron. Don't worry about Hercules, as I said earlier on. I would just keep going as you're going on Cleopatra. If you're happy and your clan is happy with the points that you're expected to get during Seasonal Kingdom, then, or not Seasonal Kingdom, during Rise of Ancients, then that's cool. It's all good. Give me 1 second here and I shall just drop out of view. I just want to close a window or I'm going to be covered in flies in about 10 minutes because the light's fading. So talk amongst yourselves. I am still here. It did get warm in here, and that's why I had the window open, and the window's now closed. So how are we doing now? Where's my chat gone? There it is. Yes, you're doing good. You're doing good, Aaron. Doing very good. Johnny, Revive Elixir production needs to be updated. The production in the city is worthless no matter what the level. Yeah. This is Seasonal Kingdom we're talking about, right? Anybody else who has jumped onto the stream, don't be afraid to say hello. Please leave a message in the chat. We are just asking you guys for your opinion on what you like, don't like, or hate about the game that is Total Battle. That's what this one is about today. We've got a lot of good suggestions. If you want to have a flick back in the chat, you can see what people have suggested or asked. If you've got any pet peeves about the game, please leave a message here. Maybe the developers might actually look at this and take some things on board or into consideration to try and make this infernal game work a little bit better than it does. Etc, etc, etc. 180,000 gold for teleporters is, yeah, that's brutal. You should be able to teleport to another kingdom for the same price or slightly above, call it double what it costs you to teleport within the kingdom. So if it costs you 18,000 to teleport, to buy a teleporter to move from this tile to this tile, then 36,000 is all it should cost you to move from this kingdom to this kingdom. Okay? I do think that's silly too. It's too much. Drader, speaking of Troop Revival, how is mobile app UI so much better than it is for PC? I think, to be honest, they started this as a PC game. This was never intended for as a mobile game. This, in my opinion, was never intended for computer. They wanted people to play it on their phones, on their iPads. And if you go and look at the App Store, obviously you will see, for Apple particularly, you'll see that the packs cost more than they do on the PC side of things. Now, that's obviously because Apple have tagged on their user charge or their service charge on top of theirs, and that's why it costs what it costs. But I do think that initially it was set out to be a mobile app. That's what they wanted it to be. They wanted it to be fast and simple and something that they could do and that all decent phones would run. Little did they know the monster that they created, and the fact that so many people now play on PCs, play on 2 screens, 3 screens, 4 screens. In fact, I have an old friend from another clan I used to be in. He had 4 32-inch, no, I think it was 32, well, 32-inch. So he has 4 32 inches all set up to open up the whole game. And he said he was able to search different areas of the screen and be able to find Merc exchanges. Again, this is going back a couple of years. He was able to find Merc exchanges much faster than anybody else because he had so much of the screens being able to look at. But yeah, that's my feeling on it, Drader, I think, anyway. And no, it's not the only case where mobile is superior. Not nowadays, not with the graphics cards out available nowadays. I mean, there's another thing, and I don't know because I haven't. Well, I do know. So I don't know about you guys, but again, this is going out to Total Battle. I play this game on the downloaded app client. If I play this game on browser, specifically on Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome, and I am scrolling the map looking for a Merc exchange or for a player or for something that you don't give us the option to be able to find using the Watchtower, which again is ridiculous. I could maybe do this for 7 to 8 minutes and the screen will freeze. I will get a drop-down menu saying JavaScript errors, numbers of them, and I basically have to click OK and I have to click refresh. If I click refresh without using Control F5, the game comes back and the chat is gone. If I use Control F5, the game comes back with the chat. But I have to do that every 8 to 9 minutes if I'm playing on browser. As I said, Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome. That is bullshit. You need to get your finger out and fix that. Because I'm sure there's lots of other people who don't want to download your game because they don't know what malware or spyware they're getting on their computers, despite what you may tell us. So, yeah. That's unhappy about that, and I'm sure lots of other people are too. Crashes in the game are unacceptable. They're unacceptable for a game that you're expecting players to spend money on. That shouldn't be happening. So you need to improve, vastly improve. Where are we going here? Premium for Great Switch on Heroes and Captain is also dumb. Premium for Great Switch on Heroes and Captains. Oh, gear. Yeah. Yes. So in other words, what Johnny is saying there, if I go into my hero, if I don't have premium, I can't get to the different tabs of the different gear that I might put on the hero. On the hero, I can get 4 sets of gear, and I normally have it set up for a specialist set of gear, a weak set. I have it set up for a full battle set of gear. I usually have it set up, for a set of gear that will improve food production and silver production, but food specifically for my city. And usually my first tab, at the minute I have it set up because I was doing some level 25 citadels earlier on. I have it set up for my flying units because I just use Corax for that. But usually I will have a full set of epic gear on this guy. So if we're doing any of the epics that the hero can hit, that's basically when I would use him. And that's what Johnny means. If you're not using premium, you cannot switch between these tabs. That is a bit silly. You should be able to do that easily. It should be straightforward. The only other way to do it if you didn't use premium would be to physically take this gear off your hero or captains and replace it with other gear from your gear menu, let's say. So that means we'll be taking that off, finding the battle gear or whatever gear I want to put on her or him and putting it on and doing it that way. So it is possible, but you're better off being able to, they all have 4. You're better off being able to just switch between the tabs, and that isn't something that should be, in Johnny's opinion, tied to your premium status. Troop cheating glitch needs to be eliminated permanently. Yeah, that was pretty good. I came to that party late. I was in Hype HYP at the start. A shout out to my Hype friends out there. If any of you are watching, I'm looking forward to speaking with you again soon. Sure, I'll see you over in Seasonal Kingdom. But yeah, I came to that party late, and it would have been nice to be able to be still needing specialists at that point in time, because I could have trained a gazillion level 8 archers or 9 archers, G9 archers, and brought just any amount of them. So yeah, that little glitch was really cool. But obviously there was lots of people, it got out there, lots of people were using it. It was spread all over chat channels all around the Total Battle world, and they jumped on top of it and closed it down. What a pity. I did know how it worked. If I remember rightly, you had to remove all your gear or something like that and take Helen out. I did use it. I don't just remember exactly now, but that's immaterial. It's gone now, so we can't do it anymore. So, such is life, eh? Just checking something here. Obviously, again, this video will be available to view after the stream has gone out. If you would like to have your say and put your points across for things that irritate you about the game, things you are happy with in the game, things that you would like changed in the game, please have your comment, post a comment in the video after the live stream is completed. And as I say, who knows who might actually watch this? You just never know. Will they take anything on board? Look, if there's enough people genuinely want to change something or want to do something or want to make something better in the game, I don't see why the developers won't get on board and just do that for us. You know, it's not like we're asking for Rome to be built again, you know. I have another one. I know another one. They should update Mercs. Give us some golems, Triffid, and fiery horror mercs. Yeah, I thought they did something like that though already. Isn't there? I thought there was mercs, special mercs out around Halloween, around Easter, the Easter bunnies, if I remember rightly, and then there was the bunny killers, and then there's the Halloween ones. I thought there was a Halloween mercenary as well. There definitely is. But yeah, it's probably something they could do, and it would be certainly a bit of a. Anything new, anything different from the game is going to certainly help a little bit. Oh, the monsters. All right, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true. But they kind of do that, don't they? There are monsters, epics, the centipede. Yeah. I get you. So you're talking about just these general monsters in the game. So at certain times of the year. But then, look, to be honest, they're going to do that at parts of the game that, they're going to do that at parts of the game where there's a special event or a special something on, and they'll just put them in then. So there are lots of things, like the runic squads, for example. I know that's not it's not a date related or calendar related, but there are things in the game like the bunnies or whatever else. I suppose it is something they could do, but I think I'd prefer they fixed stuff rather than adding more pointless stuff to it. Again, if you have just joined, we are playing Total Battle and we are having a chat about the good, the bad and the ugly in this game that so many people are addicted to worldwide. It certainly has its likers, but it has a lot of people who hate a lot of things about it. Usually they're the lower players that find it very hard to rank in events. Another thing that I might say, it's not specific to me as a player, but I think the way that they create kingdoms and prevent them or not prevent them from being attacked when new players are growing, and a new kingdom opens, for example, it's not impossible for a large clan, as has happened with GTO, and some other clans as well, who have moved in and basically destroyed a kingdom within days. They've burnt forts, capitals, etc., etc. Again, Total Battle don't make enough information about building clans and information about keeping pocket forts and how to protect your clan's buildings from these attacks. Where is all the information about that? Why are they not putting out videos? Well, I don't care that they're not putting out videos like that, because I'm happy to fill that gap, as are other YouTubers who do videos like that. But people come into this game thinking all is hunky-dory, their kingdom opens, and then crash, bang, wallop, their whole kingdom is destroyed by a couple of big players that are able to move in and destroy everything in sight. I think there needs to be a safer place or a safer possibility for small clans with small players to not have their capital be possible to be attacked. And I'm not talking about the fact that a shield comes up in the capital and it can't be attacked for 24 hours or 19 hours or whatever it is. I'm talking about a situation where the capital can't be touched. So they might be able to kill a fort or destroy a fort or 2 or 3, but when it comes to that, the capital just cannot be actually physically attacked. You know, when they're a small clan up to a certain might level where they're able and understand how to protect themselves at a certain point. I think that is an important fact, and it's something that Total Battle should have a look at. Again, in my opinion, I'm a 1 billion might player. I'm the kind of player who could move in and do that in the kingdom. I think that should be basically not possible to do. I'm sure a lot of small players would agree with me there. TB needs a clan capital war event. Yeah, well, it'd probably be a little bit like the one that they used to run from the center of the kingdom. What was that called? It was a stupid event anyway. There wasn't many people got involved. They did, and then they realized what a waste of troops and mercs it was, because you really do spend a lot of mercs. Yeah, you remember the one that used to be in the center? Where is the center of this kingdom? Come out and go back in again. The obelisks, as they used to call them. So you had to teleport your city inside a certain zone around here, and you had to protect these obelisks from rival clans who were able to bring their cities into here, and it was just a mess. To be honest, Johnny, I think just leave it as kingdom versus kingdom, but just make improvements on it. Bring it back to being 2 days again, or 3 days even. Run it over a 2-day event, and maybe have some extra options that you can do where you could attack a clan capital or something like that. That might be worthwhile doing. I often wonder what's going to happen in the game when all these players get to 5 and 6 billion. I think actually it's 3 billion the most you get. Now you can go higher. They all get to the top level, and what are they going to do? Are they all just going to then drop their shields and go off and destroy each other? I just don't know where it ends for some people. Why stay under a shield? All they're doing is staying under a shield and gathering silver, gold, every ancient, every epic. It just gets tiresome. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, and that's just to keep me playing. No, the biggest monsters in the game. Yep, got that. Centipede. The giant centipede is the single strongest monster in the game. It would be nice to have that as a merc. No, the Fire Lord is the biggest and strongest monster in the game, is it not? Let me see. Common. Monsters. Monsters is what I want, yeah. Common. Blah, blah, blah. Not rare now, we're talking about common, yeah? The Common Inferno squad. The Centipede. It's a heroic, isn't it? Yes, gotcha. No, the heroic is the heroic Inferno squad. The Centipede, I think, is in the heroics, but it's not. It's a heroic. It's not, though. The heroic Inferno squad is the biggest one. So that's this guy here. That's him. Fiery Horror, Demon, Flying Unit. It's not the Centipede. The Centipede is I think, a level 44 or less. Let me look and see if I can find it. There is... That's the Centipede. That's the 44. So no, That's a heroic barbarian squad, and that's the centipede you're talking about there, yeah? So he's not. No, the Fire Lord is bigger than him, the heroic fiery squad. That's the level 44 heroic. The level 45 is bigger again, and there's no centipedes in that. It's the heroic Inferno squad, and that is him there, and that is the top monster, heroic monster in the game. Look at the health. 6840. 6840 versus... Okay, yeah. 7740. Yes, so yes. You are right. I take it back. Yeah, I mean, he looks good. He looks good for sure. So what are you suggesting, that they just make one of these as a mercenary? Oh no, you're saying that they should have, yeah, that they should be in the game, that we can get them as mercs. Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, you get to the stage where you get to G9 and you kind of don't need your mercs, because you have your Fire Phoenix and the health to 3570. Yeah, I don't know. Again, that's something that they'd have to do. A bit more coding and a bit more work. Badass centipede's bigger. Now look at the health. I want that. I'll get you one for Christmas. How about that? I don't know how I'll get it in the post though. Might have to ship it to you. DHL might take that actually. Or FedEx. Aaron again. Speaking of bad, merc exchanges take forever to find, as you have already mentioned. Lower level players, after finding one, usually cannot make trades to do low marching speed. Yes, merc exchanges are always going to be a talking point. And I guess they're a talking point from one perspective down to the fact that the developers would rather you purchase mercs in the game. They realized that they couldn't just pull mercenaries out of the game. The mercenary exchange had to stay there, because there would have been a lot more people up in arms about it if they had removed it. But they do make it very, very, very hard to find them. And given the fact that the bigger players now are in dire need of mercenaries with their G9s and S9s and M9s, they also need mercs alongside that to attack the massive Ancients events and epics in the game. So they're always going to be the ones that are going to search for the merc exchanges first. It would be fairer to maybe give an option for, I don't know, I suppose that wouldn't stop it. I mean, if you made it fair and just just simply put more merc exchanges into the game, I think that's the only way to do it. Instead of having maybe 1 or 2 spawn in a kingdom, have 10 spawn in a kingdom. Make it possible to be able to use merc exchanges in your own kingdom, because at least then you can keep an eye on it. And if you're doing crypting or monster attacking or citadel attacking, you might come across a mercenary exchange. So make it possible to do merc exchanges in your own kingdom, especially in new kingdoms. New kingdoms can't even go to mercs. So, like, that's idiotic. That means that they literally simply can't get mercs apart from getting them from the Triumphal Challenge store or another mini event that's running in the background that may have mercs there. So again, yeah, mercenaries, there should be more of them. And if there were more of them, it would make it a little bit easier for the lower level players to be able to get it. Yes, definitely. Merc exchanges will always be headaches, Johnny. Jonathan, in our kingdom we have a merc chat that uses merc exchanges in both. Yeah, a lot of kingdoms do that, to be honest. I must admit, if I'm looking for them, I will just scroll the map. I'll try a couple of kingdoms, I'll take my time, and I will literally just drag and drag and drag and drag until I find one. When I find one, I will do a couple of exchanges, and then I will share it with the clan. Nobody has a problem with that as far as I'm aware, and if they do, well, that's tough. If I'm going to spend the time searching for a mercenary exchange, then I'm going to get first chance and first dibs at getting a couple of exchanges from it. Legru, the general improvement would be better communication with players. The general improvement would be better communication with players, yeah. Have a community manager that we know and can communicate news and be a bridge for our feedback. Other games do it. Yeah, absolutely. And I brought this up in a video that I did ages ago, and I said that I thought there should be a players council. I put that up It's one of the first videos I did, and all I got was knockers. People on there going, yeah, don't be so stupid. What do you expect? Or what do you want this for? What do you want that for? But I know that it was only big players who were copping in and throwing their aura in. They don't care. They want the small players to suffer, and they want the small players to not get as big as they are. And they have done it the hard way, and they feel that, you know, why should anybody else get the opportunity and get a better and easier way at it than they do? But yes, I 100% think that there should be a gamers council, but it would require the big players, i.e. the big spenders, to get into a room together, have a chat, discuss it, and say, okay, we're not going to spend any more packs until you guys, Total Battle, listen to us. And if you do listen to us, then that's fine, and this is what we want. And they lay out their points. It can be hashed across, chatted over, and obviously there will be a little bit of give and take, but that's what is required here for this game to be pushed on to the level that a bit of fairness that a lot of players want in the game. I know that might sound gas coming from somebody who's a billion might, but I am still coming from the perspective of the smaller player. It's why I'm spending time. I spend time doing videos. I spend time, hasn't been too many videos. We'll get there. I've spent time on live streams. I take time out of my day to sit here, chat with you guys, listen to your points about this, and that's why this discussion took place today. If I'm prepared to do that, then why can't the game developers be prepared to listen to the likes of me or bigger players and smaller players and try and make a slightly fairer, leveler playing field to give smaller players the chance to grow? After all, it's in Total Battle's best interest. As they grow, they might go, oh, well, now I will buy that hero that I didn't buy up to now, or I will get a Merc pack or two. You know, it will benefit them. They're not going to lose out on it. Like, it's just common sense and fairness, really, isn't it? And I'll read that one now. Yes, Lagru, that was one good point. I didn't mention it today. And that is the possibility to be able to delete troops in one go. The developers are well aware that we make silver troops and we go and attack the epics or monsters or wherever it may be, heroic squads, and we die. Or some of my troops die. I'm going to always revive my mercenaries, and I'm going to revive generally 99% of the time my monsters, because dragon coins are so hard to come by. And I'm going to use either sacred potions or gold. When it comes to my silver troops, i.e. my troops that I've made with silver, I am not going to revive them. That means me physically having to go into my army. There's none dead at the minute, or none that need reviving, but I have to physically go into my army and click the X button, the delete button, the X button, the delete button. There should be a delete all button there. Even if it's only a delete all button, that would be enough, because we can still then revive the mercenaries and the monsters that we want, but we can delete in one go all the silver troops that we do not want. That's a must. That has to happen. You guys need to get your finger out of your asses and do that. You do that and you're going to make a lot of people happy. And you're not doing anything that's going to give us an advantage in the game. You're just going to make it easier for us to be able to, for example, when we're attacking the Rise of the Ancients, I have to physically go in and try and find where my mercenaries are on that list. But I know why you do a Total Battle. You do it because you want me to waste my gold and bring all my troops back. Well, I'm not going to do that. I would rather miss out on 2 or 3 hits and the VP that I get from an Ancients or an Epic, just specifically to kill off those troops one by one. So make it easier for that to happen. Kill them off in one go with one button. Thank you for making that point, Legru. I'm glad it was made because it's an important one. A nice addition would be a function to set different types of attacks setups and recall them as needed, so we don't have to change all the stack numbers each time. Yeah, and that should happen in all cases. So for example, if I was to go now and attack the current yokai epic, if I went and attacked him, if I click attack, actually let me just put, because I did a couple of attacks using Hercules. So if I now click attack, and I haven't attacked this today since I've been on, I haven't been playing today. If I click attack, you will see that no mercenaries are selected. Now, if I had, well, sorry, Some of them are, but that's because I only picked up some of the other mercs at a later date after attacking it. So you can see that the ones that are there are ones I have used. My monsters are still there, okay, in the numbers I want, and also my troops are all still there in the exact same numbers. But that's because I attacked this yesterday using this exact captain and using this exact equipment and exact artifact. If I change any of those numbers, those troop numbers will probably be null and void and will go back to 0, okay? If I, for example, decided to use Cleopatra in this attack, so go attack and click Cleopatra, all the same amount of mercs and monsters are selected, but I may have to make adjustments because I may be able to take more or less of those depending on the level she is or the gear that she's wearing at the time. So it is there as a possibility currently, but yeah, I do know what you mean, that it would be nice to have a specific, maybe 1, 2, 3, give us maybe 3 tabs that we can set up with maybe a hero, a captain, and maybe a couple of captains at a time, and it will remember your troops. But do bear in mind that each time they level up, and they will level up quite fast when you're attacking epics constantly, you are going to have to increase that number. So yeah, look, it's maybe not a needs must, but it would be a nice to have, you know, a little beneficial. And my light died. I was wondering how long the battery would be on that. So now I'm in just the computer light. That's okay. Where are we doing? Okay, we're going to run. I'm going to cut this short and not cut it short. I'm going to pull off this feed now in 10 minutes. Okay, so 10 more minutes, guys. You want to get your questions in there, please do. Questions and or points. Aaron again, I think all of the bazaars, Lucky Bazaar, Pharaoh Bazaar and Dragon Bazaar and the Valencia Hero are weighted to give white or blue gifts. These events rarely pay out big. Yeah, absolutely. I've done the bazaar, the Lucky Bazaar event, and I think for the maybe 1,000 odd times I've run it, I maybe have hit mercenaries maybe 10 or 12 times maximum. They usually, again, give you just kind of rubbish stuff. They give you lots of experience. They give you the experience points each time. And then invariably you will get a building resource, which brings me to one other point that's really annoying. If I go in, developers, please listen to this one. If I go into my daily jobs, okay, to create my vault, I need to do probably all but one of my daily jobs, okay? Of these daily jobs, despite the fact that I have a fully researched city and a fully researched academy, you are still giving me an option to research any technology from archaeology section, army mod section, etc., etc. I can't physically do that. What is the point in having that there as an option? Give me another option, because if I can't physically do that, it means I then have to do all of the other ones to be able to get to my final point of being able to do it. So this is pointless here. This is absolutely useless to me. Also useless to me are any of the resource packs that I get. What am I going to be doing with resources at this stage in the game? At the minute, I've a billion stone, a billion iron, 2 billion, and that's just from these stupid packs that I get from these spin-offs. There should be at least an option to go choose something. So maybe choose that you could have silver instead of the resources. Something similar to what's done in Seasonal Kingdom, actually, when you get the event pack in your items, and you can choose whether you want to take valor points or experience points, for example. Something like that even would make it a little bit easier. What else have we got? All the bazaars. So yeah, that's a good point on the bazaars. Yeah, and Valencia, I have never used her. I've seen people with her. I don't see the point of her. I don't think she's worthwhile. Again, another hero in the game I don't think is worthwhile. This isn't anything down to Total Battle. They made it. Some people love her, love him. I just don't see the point of him. And that's Nectarius. Nectarius, that gives you this wonderful boost to your sacred potion making. And oh my god, if I get him, I'll be able to use sacred potions to revive my troops. Yeah, until they realize that your capacity for sacred potions is so low that he can't even fill it, or that he fills it so quickly that you can't save anymore. Again, a pointless hero. But anyway, that's just, they decided to put that in. Some people love them. I see a lot of people using them when they're low level. To be honest, I think they're wasting their time. They'd be better off using it with Haemon, where he doubles your clan bonuses in the city, or using Meriones, where you put a full set of attacking battle armor on him and use him in battles, or Thaddeus, which gives a 25% leadership buzz, leadership lift. Again, I think there are more important heroes in the game than Nectarius, regardless of what level you were playing at. Have a look at it and work it out before you pick them. I wouldn't mind seeing a complete all button on daily tasks. Yep, that would be a good idea. I've used several add jobs buttons, and I've had 200 to 300 jobs to complete. The simple answer to that, Jonathan, is a button clicker, which basically is like clicking the mouse button. So you can literally go into your daily jobs. Just check out, I will leave a little link there in the thing, but check out this one. Just look that up on Google. It's very simple to use. You literally open it up. You can set the speed in milliseconds for how it will click the button for your daily jobs. You open the application. There's no bloatware, no spam, no spyware or anything else on it. Just search that and only go to that link that provides that. And you basically open it up on your PC and it will pop up as a window. You click the F8 button and that will automatically start the auto clicker. Make sure you're on the daily job that you want, and you can go off, make yourself a coffee, or sit back and watch the game and watch something else on the computer. Watch a live stream, or watch an X live stream, as it will be now. Do something else nice with your time while your button clicks automatically for you. That's the easiest thing to do with that. Osama, hello, welcome, and thanks for joining today. You have missed some. I am soon to finish, my friend. About 3 minutes left. So look, I think this has been a good video. There has been some very good points made. Johnny Appleseed, thank you for all your points. I hope we have covered them all as we've gone along, and agreed with many and disagreed on just a few. I won't require any catapults for Christmas, so keep them all, send them to somebody else. No, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on and giving in. Thank you to everybody who's come on and given in your feedback and your thoughts and suggestions to the game developers of Total Battle. Perhaps one day they will look at this, and perhaps one day they will do something about some of the little instances that we've discussed here. I might see if I can get it in front of them. I might send them an email and let them know that a video was created with a lot of players, and we made some suggestions, some very poignant ones and some maybe not so poignant, and maybe they will maybe they'll consider a few things. Just the last few things to look at. I forgot about this one. You should be able to sell resources back for gold or silver, or trade for Merc's gold. That's never going to happen. You and me know that, right? She is good for silver alt. Why is she good for a silver alt? Because what if she gives you Mercs in a silver alt? Then they're not much use to you. Plus, she'll generally only give you building resources, I would have thought. Yeah, I don't know. Silver alt, yeah, maybe. I suppose I could try that in my silver alt and see what I get from her for the gifts. But to be honest, the bonus that Haemon gives in my silver alt pushes me up to about 3.3 million an hour on silver. I think I'd rather that than drop down to 2.7 or less. In fact, probably about 2.5 if I didn't use Haemon. No, probably 2.6, 2.7 and use Telencia. But I might look at her at some stage. And you're very welcome. Thanks, guys. Look, I appreciate you all. Thank you for taking part. Thank you for being online. I am going to endeavor to get a couple of new videos up this week. They will be based around some of the things that we discussed. making good armor, comparison of some heroes. I'm going to do one with captains, and I'm going to try and do it with a lot of chapters so people can skip through it and see at what chapter certain captains are spoken about. But yeah, and then we will run a couple of live streams again next week. I'll have to see how I'm fixed time-wise. I have a little bit of a busy schedule myself here in real life, but I will try and squeeze in a couple of live streams this week because I'm a little more available. Time-wise, I'll put it up in the Discord server. Again, if you're looking at this after the live stream, please join the Discord server. I will leave the details in the chat or on the screen here, and you will get to know when there are streams coming on. That is where I will post them. Okay, so yeah, look, thanks. I have enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed chatting to you all. I've enjoyed all your points, and hopefully Total Battle will take a look at this at some stage and take some of it on board. But for now, I thank you for joining in, and until the next time, have a good weekend. Curf. Peace out.